Cool. Okay, so back to the Aftercare Ointment topic. We're going to be interviewing Sean Hoy, founder and creator of Inkeeze, and give you a little bit of story on how Bishop and Inkeeze came to merge. You know what? Let's bring Sean in for this so we can kind of talk about it. Sean Hoy, come on down. Have a seat right here, Sean. Run on over here, Sean.
All right.
Hey.
It's like Price is Right.
Hey everyone, how we all doing?
Good. Okay, a little bit. Okay, how about that?
Scooch over just a little more.
Got you.
I feel like the news anchor.
Okay. So what's going on down in Florida, Sean?
I have
How's
no
the weather?
idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Thank God we're not news reporters. But let's
Right.
let's report on some Inkeeze action here. So, Inkeeze was founded in 2003,
technically.
Okay, so before we get into the awesome Bishop story on how we merged myself, Sean Hoy, and Carlos Torres, you guys know who he is. Tell us a little bit about when Inkeeze was founded and why did you come up with Inkeeze? You're a serious collector. You've always had tattoos. So he's a serious collector. He's been getting tattooed since, gosh, how long has it been?
97 when I was allowed to.
Ooh,
so I
okay.
turned 18 and drew a tattoo when I was 14 years old and moved to San Diego and said, I'm getting this thing. Mom and Dad can't say no now.
Yes,
so I went down
yes.
and got it, and that's when it started.
And what's cool about Sean, I work with Sean every day. He's one of my business partners at Bishop and Inkeeze. And what's cool about Sean is he's like an inventor. He's always thinking about how to make things better. And I was talking a little bit earlier about how tattooing really took a turn like in 2006, when the reality shows started really coming out. It took a turn in terms of popularity. But before that, there wasn't a lot of aftercare companies. So we're one of the originals, right?
Absolutely.
We've been around since, God, you started formulating back in 2006, right?
3 even we started
gosh.
the process. So there was not much out there at the time, and it started personally. I was getting tattoos and actually getting a leg sleeve, and I was teaching wakeboarding in San Diego, and noticed that we were actually sponsored by Sunscreen company.
Yeah.
And the stuff just made the tattoos look bluish, and they dried the skin out, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, shoot, I just want something for me and my friends. And next thing you know, we're playing with the formulations and creating Inkeeze.
Yeah. So what's cool about Inkeeze is it was founded way before a lot of other products were out, and so you were able to do a lot of research and come up with some of the best stuff. There was a lot of passion. Like when I first met Sean, there was a lot of passion in his products. He would come by the studio and dump off samples of the latest glides and the latest aftercare ointments and whatnot, and I always sensed the passion. He always knew what he was talking about, and so you've been around since early 2000s. Tell us about Carlos Torres. So you and Carlos Torres became business partners before Bishop got involved. How did that come about?
Kind of a quick story. Oh, sorry, it's like one of those, right?
Yep. Boom, boom.
Okay, here we go. Well, Carlos and I, we were friends and had some products out there, and he was starting to use them. He's starting to like them, and invited him out to do a kind of a custom label for one of the sunscreens. And we talked more and more, and he actually said, hey man, I really believe in the products. It's one of the first things that's been developed for the tattoo industry that I really like, and I'd love to get involved. And so that was, we sealed our deal together in 2011, and been a amazing addition, and just developed just even a better friendship. So thank you, Carlos. It's been incredible.
We love Carlos Torres.
Yep. He's a man.
Yep.
So we've been chomping along ever since then, and then you and I bumped into each other a little bit more over time. And
so a little quick story about how Bishop got involved with Inkeeze is that, so Sean came by, and I was kind of like wanting to develop a glide. At the time we were calling it the Zen Glide, and it was like a smell good glide. So Sean's green glide, it smelled good, right? And he had a lot of success because it was something different than A&D. Finally, it was something different than Vaseline. It was a high quality petroleum. We'll get into the ingredient stuff later, but it was an awesome product. I loved using it. Then at the time I was like steering away from petroleum products, wanting to try something else. So I kicked around this idea of this different type of glide, and so Sean and I started kind of working on this project for a while, and I started seeing like, wait, this would be fun. This would be fun to get involved with, and this would be fun to become business partners on. So we started talking for a few years. Long story short, we merged and we just sort of said, hey, look, let's just do this together. So Inkeeze and Bishop became one. They got married. Since then, they've had a couple kids, which we will get into here in a little bit. It's an ever-growing family of awesome products. Inkeeze is, so people ask, what is Inkeeze? And what is Inkeeze? What kind of products do we make?
Well, we make a multitude of products, right? Our kind of theory on everything has been is we want to give people choices.
Yeah.
So there's somebody that might come out with the world's best snake oil, but we don't believe in that. We believe in giving options for the different types of skin types, the different types of feelings that, as by feelings I mean the different types of glides we have. They give you a different consistency, so different styles, different choices. We want to make sure we give you every option you could possibly want. You know?
That's something I learned in just making tattoo machines and grips is there are so many desires. Some people like 1-inch grips. Some people like 2-inch grips. Some people like petroleum-based products. Some people like non-petroleum-based products. Some people like CBD-based products. So Sean and I kind of learned along the roads is, look, I know it costs a lot more. It takes a lot of time. It's a heck of a lot more inventory, but we got options for days. And we always like to say we have something for you in our Inkeeze category. We have something for you. We early in Inkeeze's philosophy for business was let's make the product smell good, right? Taking it from this. You know, I remember the days of A&D Ointment. It always reminded me of like a baby or a hospital. It was like a weird, like, ugh, you know. I think I grew to love it, but it wasn't fun. It didn't make my experience tattooing for 10 hours or 8 hours or 6 hours a fun experience. I like incense. I like things that smell good, and that was kind of something you discovered. So Sean kind of invented this whole like, hey, look, if we're gonna make ointment, let's make it smell good. Let's add some color to it. Like green glide, let's make it green. Pink glide, let's make it pink. What is pink? Bubblegum. Everyone loves the smell of bubblegum. So talk a little bit about some of the different, let's talk about some of the glides actually. Let's talk about green glide.
Okay. Well, here, let's grab it. It's right over there. Let's take a peek here. Right there.
There we go.
Boom. There you go, everyone. Green glide. I mean, that's our bread and butter from when we first started. And that's kind of what founded the whole glide program. Okay.
No,
Yep.
right here.
Yep.
Okay, we'll start here.
No, you guys are doing.
All right. So, anyways, sorry, folks. I'm a newbie, so I'm getting used to this.
Brand newbie.
Yeah. So, anyways, the green glide was the first one to it, and it was just this idea of creating a glide that was a little bit more breathable than your standard A&D. We also removed the lanolin, which was choking up the needles and kind of creating those little goo balls for all of you that used to use
I
A&D.
hated that when that happened.
Yeah, and then we
sucked.
just put a few other essential oils and vitamins in there to boost up the aftercare and the healing process. And when they're injecting the ink into your skin, they're also injecting this stuff in. So we wanted to make sure we had antimicrobial, we were clean, we were putting good vitamins in your body to help aid you all the way through the process.
Yeah.
And that's what started. It was like, wow, smells, it looks good. It was just a way of taking the experience and making it more fun for myself, the collector. And then it also transpired to the tattoo artist to make sure it was the best product for them to produce the best artwork.
And what does it smell like? What is the what is the?
That one's
smell?
lavender.
It's lavender, okay, and we love lavender. And it's what's cool about these products is it's not like overwhelming. It's like a hint of some kind of smell that smells good. Green light is awesome. If you guys like petroleum-based products, because there's artists out there that'll call in and say, hey, look, I just love the way petroleum feels. I love the way it glides. It's got a certain texture that I'm particularly used to. So we have that for them. Let's talk about the purple glide.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's ours.
This is the one
that's what started this relationship here for the most part.
Sean and I worked on this together, and it gave birth to the idea of why are we separate? Let's do this together.
Absolutely.
Number and power in numbers.
So on the purple glide, you've got a similar lavender smell, but we've added the tamanu oil in there for recovery of the skin cells. That particular product then creates a kind of a hinting smell, and almost more like I don't want to say hippie-esque smell, but it definitely like creates a different smell that's lavender mix, and it's incredible. It has a more of a dense kind of feel to it because of the beeswax in there. And it's once again, it's going to give you a different feel. Like Franco said before, I love the feel and the consistency that some people are just like, man, I'm old school. I love Vaseline. I love A&D, and you're going to stick to your green glide. And if you're looking for something that you're trying to step away from petrolatum, here's your next alternative, and we're very proud of it. It's been a staple in the line for a long time.
Yeah, I use this. And what's cool about these ones is there's something about it where you don't need as much as, like, for example, when I used to reach for like a petroleum-based product, it was I had to get more and use more. This seems to be almost thinner and sort of melt onto the skin and kind of break down. It's interesting, and I think we discovered that on accident, and so then it got me to tell people, hey, look, a little goes a long way. We used to say that a lot, is a little goes a long way.
That even says it on the label.
Yeah. So that's what's cool. If you guys are using like the CBD Glide, the Purple Glide, the Pink Glide, a little does go a long way. Although it's a 6-ounce jar, it lasts a heck of a long time. Awesome stuff right here. Smells great. Let's talk about.
We do have a question.
Okay.
Now, so versus the petroleum-based versus the water-based, like what is the difference as far as application, or is it just simply feel, or can some of them be used in the aftercare, or what is it that separates the two? Like one person likes the petroleum versus the non-petroleum.
I mean, getting into it, it's more of a consistency than anything, and it's a preference, right? If you're like, I'm anti-petroleum, because some people are, and that's okay, then that's why we wanted to make sure you had that other options. Kind of goes back to what our business is about, and it's creating different options for different people, whether that's for tattooing, whether that's for aftercare. All of our products on the ointment side can be used for the tattoo application along with the aftercare process.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it. We don't necessarily brand any of our glides to be like an aftercare product, but you can totally do it. And again, we encourage you guys out there. This is a great time. Sean's like, he's being humble right now. He's kind of like a doctor. He's like a scientist. He knows a lot about skin cell recovery, longevity, how to really get your tattoos to heal right, because that's a big issue in tattooing, is once that person leaves your studio, what are they doing to their tattoo to make sure that it heals proper? So any questions you guys have on ointments or recovery or anything relating to aftercare, now's the time. Hit us up. And if you don't get a chance to hit us up live, send us a message. You guys know how to find us. We're going to talk about Pink Glide. This is one of my favorites, actually, too. I just love the smell of bubblegum for some reason.
This was like our little kid project, right? It's just like bubblegum. I mean, yeah, there are a few that don't love it, so I get it. But for us, it was like that Bubba Hubba.
Who doesn't like bubblegum?
It was just so fun. It's a childhood experience, and it goes back to some of the reasons why we did everything here is we want to take the tattoo experience and make it the best, most fun possible scenario. And you want to go home. I mean, it's a big deal. It's exciting, and every part of it should be exciting, right? That's the point.
That's a cool thing, because, I mean, sometimes tattoos take 4, 5, 6 hours, 7 hours. It's really cool to know that Inkeeze and Sean really took a lot of thought, into creating that experience, because it is an experience. I think that's why people have their tattoo stations decked out with all kinds of knickknacks and got the music playing and the incense. So why not, tattoo with something? Because this is any kind of ointment. It's sort of an in-your-face type of thing. Whether it's A&D ointment or Vaseline or one of these items, it's in your face, like you're right on the skin. I love the bubblegum smell. So if you guys haven't had a chance to try this stuff, I encourage you to try it out.
And to give you a little bit, I'm actually gonna give someone a little shout out here. This person is tashacope.tattoo.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it, camera folks, but this is kind of what we're talking about here. You can see they actually pinked out their entire station, and that's pretty rad. So when we see stuff like that, like honestly, folks, send us that in. Juliet, who runs our Instagram, will take care of you and get it going. But just everything. So it's super cool. So good job on that. Thanks for sending that in. Yes. Another topic, just to kind of give you a little bit more background on the pink, because you might go, what's the difference between the
purple or pink?
Yeah. Is they're actually the same. So purple and pink are the exact same ingredients. The main difference is the smell of bubblegum and the color pink.
So it's like, do you want a red Honda or a gray Honda? Or a silver Honda? So that's cool. So again, it goes back to options. We want to have other options. We got some exciting new products coming too, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. But that's it for Pink Glide. Check it out when you get a chance. This is one of my favorite ones that I've said that about all of them. So I think if you were to look at my station, you'd see all of them out there anyway. So I don't know which one's my
Hey,
favorite.
we don't eat steak and filet mignon every night, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
we can have a cheeseburger.
It's weird. It's
hot
sort of
dog.
like I love them all, but it's like, what am I in the mood to smell today? Do
Right.
I want to smell geranium? Do I want to smell bubblegum? Do I want to smell lavender? It's like it's an interesting thing. Maybe I'll start using all three. I'll just start putting globs of all three and just sort of mix them together. Who knows?
There is actually a fun little story about kind of credit to Carlos Torres, because when we're doing the scents and we're trying to see what it smells like and everything, he was like, "Look, Sean, this one's a little intense." I'm like, "Well, okay, what do you mean? Like, well, I don't understand." He goes, "Well, take a glob of it and just smear it over the top of your upper lip for about 8 hours, and then let me know what you think." So it was like one of those. I did that, and I was like, "Oh dang, okay, like we gotta tone some of these down." So believe it or not, even these scents, we've spent so many.
I'm a witness.
There's been so many renditions of it. We've spent so much time on it. I mean, we're all pretty picky, so I guess that's good for everyone out there. We're really picky.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time in the R&D stage. So
What's
just want to share that fun little story of how we even test.
And what's cool, another thing about this is, again, our business partner is Carlos Torres. You guys already know who he is. He's working. I wish he can come today, but he's about an hour away. But nevertheless, Carlos, Sean, and I. So it's two tattoo artists. So when we create these products, Sean's the lead formulator. Carlos and I are the picky bastards that just keep saying no, change this, change that. We test the heck out of the product. But it's cool to know that it's a great fusion of collaborative minds that are creating these products. Sean's a serious collector. Like I said, he's been collecting tattoos since the 90s. He's been formulating since early 2000s. He's an inventor. So it's kind of like, it's a perfect thing. He does what he does, knowing what he knows, because there's a lot of things that he knows that Carlos and I don't know. We don't even ask. We don't even. It's too complicated. But when it comes
and vice versa.
Yeah, but when it comes to the scents and all the little nuances of what makes this product so great, it's a lot of R&D. Sometimes things don't come out for a year. It's like, let's make it thicker. Let's make it have this consistency. Oh, the smell's too much. So a lot of thought goes into this. And shout out again to Carlos Torres. By the time this is done, a lot of thought and testing has been.
There's a fun fact on there in case you haven't read the back of the labels. It says down here below, it says not tested on animals, just ourselves. So that's something we're proud of too.
We do. And we have our whole.
I've been a walking guinea pig on this product since the early 2000s. I'm still here, so there's good news, right? I'm alive.
Shout out to A.B. Alvarez, right?
Yeah, A.B. Alvarez. Yeah, he did a lot of
the,
R&D with myself and doing a bunch of tattoos.
That's awesome.
Nicole Arcade, she helped us out back in the day and still does to this date, and many others. So I apologize for everybody I couldn't think of off the top of my head, but hey, we love you guys for helping us get here.
We won't hold it for you. Now this product too, this is awesome. So you were one of the first to formulate a CBD product.
Yeah, that was, gosh, even in the days we had the Solon booth in Las Vegas for the Magic Show, and it was Rich Pineda and a few others. We were actually testing CBD ointments and getting tattooed with them. So, gosh, I mean, it's 7-8 years. I didn't even know what it was, to be honest with you.
He started formulating a CBD glide for the tattoo industry so long ago that he was nervous to release it, right?
Yep.
This was back when CBD first started getting popular. But yeah, it's noteworthy, and it's a cool factoid to know that this was the first CBD product made for tattooers, Ointment.
That's a good point you just brought up there, and I'd like to add a little bit on that. It's there's a reason why some of you might see two different labels. You'll see a CBD Glide label, and you'll see a Hemp Glide label. And the reasoning for that is certain states have certain regulations, and that's kind of that point of like we were a little nervous to release it as regulations were changing, and that label change literally allows us to sell it in certain states because of the certain regulations they have. So be known that either one of those labels are exactly the same product.
It's just this weird law. So another little thought to know about the CBD Glide is I have a semi-special announcement. A lot of people love this, but they say it's too expensive. It's $40 for the jar. As you guys may or may not know, CBD isolate has gone down in price. I think when we first got involved, it was like very expensive. Like I think a kilo of it was like $9,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it was right there.
So our new price as of today for the CBD or the Hemp Glide is going to be $29.95. So if you guys go to the website, you'll notice a significant reduction in price. So it's no longer $40. It is now $29.95, $10 more than our other glides. but it's got a lot of CBD. And stay tuned. When do we get our new? So this actually, let's talk about the content. This has 250 milligrams of CBD. As a tattooer, I find that this takes a lot of the red out of the skin. There's a soothing effect that my customers have said many times. I didn't even know how good it would work. It was just a lot of feedback from you guys, the artists. It takes away a lot of the swollen skin and just different stuff. It's like it's kind of amazing what CBD does for the skin in general.
Yeah, it's a big factor.
I was gonna say, what about how Fonzie using it as a tattoo artist on their hands?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's a little hack. Want me to give them the hack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So here's an awesome hack. You guys got to try this. But first, let me say this. This has 250 milligrams of CBD.
Vegan.
It's vegan.
So that's our one vegan
Our
product on that side.
our new CBD Glide coming out very soon is going to have how many milligrams?
1,000.
Are we up in the price?
No.
We
So
wouldn't
even
do
though
that.
raw materials went up, because that's kind of one of the kickers, is there's a fine balance between the two. So as we are going to bump that up on our next run,
1,000 milligram. That's a lot. So that'll be the largest content of CBD in any kind of CBD Glide for the tattoo industry. But we're not going to upcharge you for it either. But here's a little hack. Everyone that's tried this has loved it. It's tripped out. So before you put your gloves on, especially if you're doing like a 4-hour plus tattoo, get some of this, sort of rub it around your hands really good, okay? And then put your gloves on. It just makes your hands relaxed. It does something to your hands where it takes the aches and pains from tattooing for hours, or if you have a heavy machine, or if you have carpal tunnel, or just achy joints. It's amazing. Like we tried it just goofing off one day, and I started telling people to do it, and they tried it. We went to that convention.
And we've been super fortunate that we actually work with medical pain doctors in Arizona that have actual studies on how CBD works. So I don't know of anyone else that actually has clinical studies that they can reference, and we are fortunate enough to have those relationships with these doctors. And we've shown through their reports the reduction in swelling, and it's proven, and that reduction in pain. And inflammation's huge, right? I mean, that causes pain. So
when you guys are tattooing, like I hate when I'm doing like a portrait or a realistic piece and their skin's just so inflamed, right? It's like it's hard to see your tones. It's hard, especially the lighter tones. It's like you have to wait till they kind of like heal or simmer down. But the CBD Glide really helps kind of battle the inflammation, which really helps out. And I think that's one of our number one feedbacks is like, hey, I love that product. It really helps inflamed skin.
And they love it for aftercare. So there's even a whole kit around it.
This is a great aftercare. So speaking of aftercare, this topic is really important. I've owned a studio for many years, and I've worked with tons of artists, probably over 100 artists. And one thing I've always noticed is everyone's got a different way to heal a tattoo. And there's probably 1,000 ways to skin a cat. But I think that simplicity is key, right? Like, there could be a ton of ways to do this or that, but it's like, how do you achieve your goal in the most simple fashion? For me, right, it's just lotion, non-scented lotion. So let's talk about aftercare. If you guys have any questions, hopefully you guys ask some questions, because aftercare is a huge deal. Think about it, guys. Like when your customer leaves your studio and their tattoos get fucked up, or the ink fades, or something happens, and they're blaming you when it was really them. Hopefully it wasn't you, because that could be the problem too. And you don't want to blame the artist or the collector if that's the case. But nonetheless, when they leave your studio, you want to properly educate them how to take care of their tattoo. You want to be able to sell them or give them the best aftercare products, period. Whether it's our products or other products, the topic of aftercare is really important, because you want that tattoo. Once it heals, there's only one chance. I tell this to people when we talk about aftercare. When they leave your studio, they have a week, sometimes 10 days, to heal. It's like a one chance deal. You get one chance to heal. Once you're healed, that tattoo is what it is. If it healed proper, if it healed perfect, if they took care of it the proper way, what's going to happen?
Well, it should look nice, right?
It's going to look nice. What if they fuck it up and put the wrong ointment, or they?
I mean, I've personally seen tattoos literally melt off and look like a pile of hot crayons on the concrete. Yeah. So I mean,
we've all seen that. We've all seen that.
And that's scary. And that's scary. And a bummer, or it crusts up, and I mean, I don't know about you, but getting 1 or 2 tattoos over my time frame and healing 1 or 2, I feel like those first 24 hours are like the most important. You know, that's where I really am hypersensitive in everything that I do, and then continue that for the rest of the week. But that's just like anything you could do, just be careful.
So let's take it in stages. The tattoo's finished. Okay, so naturally the next stage is a Band-Aid, right? Now we have some of the skins, right? Some of the fake skins. What do you call that?
It's like a Tagaderm.
Tagaderm type of product. Okay, so you got the Tagaderm products, which we're going to be coming out with. I know we're supposed to talk about it a little later, but stay tuned for the Tagaderm. We got black. We got black Tagaderm, never been done before, and we have your standard clear. But
and you know why we do black, right?
Tell me why.
Why? Because the sun. Sorry, Kent Brock. The sun is one of those situations where it's your skin is actually trying to recreate itself and fix itself, and then what you're doing is you're taking the sun's damage, which is like a mini little laser just constantly zapping at you, and it's forcing your actual cells to not recreate perfectly because it's also fighting the sun at the same time. So by putting a black film on there, you're actually going to reduce the sun intake, which will actually help your tattoo heal better.
And that'll be cool for tattoos that are exposed to the sun. So like, your arms or your neck or whatnot. And this is another topic. This is why they don't allow, right, James? When we go to Italy and we go to some of our favorite museums, we get in trouble when we take pictures with our flash on.
Yeah.
We get kicked out. So it's that same philosophy. It's like the light does something to pigment. The sun, that's the biggest light. That's the biggest destroyer of pigment. That's why you don't hang any of your original paintings or even prints next to a window, because it will zap the color and the pigment out of it. So the healing process is very important, and again, it goes back to Band-Aids. So let's talk about the first product that we offer. This, I remember, shout out to Tim Hendricks. Tim Hendricks was one of the, probably like, I would almost go as far as saying the first person to promote Tagaderm. I remember him promoting and using Tagaderm like 9 years ago. And years later, the tattoo world finally caught on. Now it's like everywhere. Everyone uses a certain brand. They're kind of all the same, right? It's like this brand or that brand. It's still Tagaderm. That's like the 3M company. That's the holder of the patent and that sort of thing, right? But there's different versions of it, but it's generally the same thing. It's like a condom. Whether it's Trojan or it's latex, right? It's latex. So the Tagaderm product at one time was ahead of its time, and I remember Tim would be like, "Man, I don't know why people don't use this stuff. Tattoos heal better. It's easier. It locks it in." And again, then the world just caught on. So I feel what I'm holding in my hands is a similar type of product that's ahead of its time. Carlos Torres and I, we swear by it. It's the only thing we use personally for our tattoos. It's so new that a lot of people still don't know how to use it. And I'm going to demonstrate it here in a second. But it's called Ink Guard. You can kind of put it like this. This is a sprayable liquid dermafilm. So it's kind of like the same film that you guys use, but you spray it on. And what I like about this is you don't have to spend 10 minutes cutting out the perfect shape and then having to fight. Because look, you guys already know that Tagaderm stuff, I mean, it's like you got to get it right. Sometimes you put it on and it just like doesn't stick, or there's something. It's like funky.
You get a bubble.
You fight it. Yeah, you get a bubble. You got to fight it, right? This stuff, there's no fight. You simply spray it on, which I'll show you how to do, and it behaves and it works the same way. So the theory is the same. So it creates like it's kind of like a biohack, right? So when you get a tattoo, the blood and the plasma, it wants to form a scab, and that scabbing process often can be a bummer when the scab gets ripped off because you walked next to a wall or whatnot. But that scabbing process always sort of determines how that tattoo is going to heal, right? So the whole idea of this, and even the Tagaderm, is to sort of hack the body into not really scabbing. So when you look at like the tattoo underneath the Tagaderm, it doesn't really have a chance to scab up like if open air was to hit it. And the same with this. It basically shoots a film over the skin, protecting it. It lasts about 3 to 4 days. So what I tell my customers is spray it on, or they leave my studio with it sprayed on. So as an artist, you'll apply it, but they leave. 3 to 4 days later, we'll talk about this product. I recommend the ink lock. It's one of my favorites. It's a lotion. We'll get into that in a second. But I'll show you how this works. It's really simple. You don't have to use it like spray paint. It lasts a lot longer. So I'm going to pretend. Ooh, is that a Sergio Sanchez piece?
That it shall be.
Do you mind if I show the camera?
Who wants it? Which one are we doing?
Let's
we doing
do
over
that
here?
one.
Are we doing this one? Kent Brock, where are we at?
Let's do this one.
Too far? Bring it up.
It's
Focus.
It just needs a focus. That's it.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh,
So
hey.
we're going to take this lovely Sergio Sanchez tattoo, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to pretend like this tattoo is completely done, right? So here's what you'll do.
Perfect.
Hold on.
I always wanted to be a hand model, by the way, in case
Well, today-
anybody's wondering.
Official.
It's
Today-
official. This
today
is like
is.
making
So-
like history right now.
Hey now, hand model extraordinaire. So what you'll do is when the tattoo's finished, you'll make sure that you have removed all the seeping blood and plasma. So what I like to do is rub it down, wash it off with the soap, the green soap, pat it dry. If I notice the customer's still seeping, because that's one of the things, you want to wait till they stop seeping liquids before you put this on. Then I'll put alcohol, and I'll just kind of give it a little alcohol bath. Sometimes alcohol tends to kind of constrict the blood a little bit, right? So that sometimes
Kills bacteria.
Yeah.
We're okay with that.
Yep. So again, this locks it in. This locks it in. So you want to make sure you clean it very good. So
Two things I'd like to add to that as well is that does also have alcohol in it, so it's also going to kill bacteria,
Yeah.
but still double recommend the double clean. But maybe let your customer know that's about to get sprayed that you're going to feel a little bit of the alcohol. Give them a little heads up. It's not a bad thing.
He didn't have to say that. He just wants me to hold his hand longer. But let
call
it be
it a
known. That's the truth.
sensation.
Yeah.
It'll pick you up. Some people are more sensitive than others to alcohol.
There's a little sting to it because there is alcohol, but nonetheless, you want to make sure that it's not seeping a ton of blood and plasma. But for the most part, you pat it down until it stops, and then this is how you get the most bang for your buck. What you don't want to do is spray it on like you're tagging like you're tagging up a wall, right? You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it like that. You're going to end up having overspray that'll hit your floor and get everywhere, and you'll use a lot more of it, and you'll run out a lot quicker. So here's what I do. We've all finger painted before, I think, as artists when we were kids. So I spray a puddle in the middle, and then with my gloves on, obviously, I will finger paint the entire tattoo. Okay. A little puddle goes a long way. Oh, do I have my nifty
The fan?
Hold on a second.
Oh, right behind you right there.
Oh. I happen to
Wow.
use my nifty Inkeeze Ink Guard fan, and I fan him. First, I fan their face because
Yep.
I'm sure they're in a lot of pain. for the
Shameless
tattoo.
plugs all day long.
Yeah. And then I'll fan the first layer. So there's 3 layers you want to do. So with my gloves on, I'll touch it to make sure it's got a little matte finish, sort of a matte film. How you can tell it's dry is it won't stick to your glove. So that's the first layer. Then I'll look to see if it's seeping any blood. If it is seeping a little bit of blood or a little bit of plasma, I'll get a little paper towel with a little damp alcohol, and I'll press that area. And then I'll spray another puddle and rub it on. Right?
We got a question
Okay.
actually about this from our friend Joseph Jones, who actually has talked about buying 100 cans. Absolutely loves this stuff, but the one thing he's had an issue with, the difficulty functioning properly so far for him has been the armpit. He tried it on his wife. He gave it more than ample dry time.
I know what he's dealing with. Is it sticking?
About 40 minutes after the last coat, and it ended up sticking together.
Yeah.
Too much.
Okay, so that's sort of a rare scenario for the armpit or for the ditch. It's going to be difficult.
I just recommend a lighter spray, honestly. Instead of doing
Yeah.
3 coats of it, let's just
Yeah.
go for a lighter spray.
Yeah.
It'll dry quicker. It's not going to be stacked as much. So your goal once again is to put a protective layer on and stop any of the bleeding and the ink pushing.
Yeah.
So I would say just
Yeah.
give it a 1 spray over and that's it, and call it at that.
Yeah.
And
Because
then
that's
go
a-
to your normal regimen
Yeah.
of using. That's the cool part about this product is you can use your normal regimen of Aftercare after literally 24 hours, because like we were kind of
Yeah.
discussing is
Yeah.
that first 24 hours is your critical
Very
time
important.
to
Yeah.
make sure nothing gets in there, no bacteria, you don't end up getting an
Yeah.
infection or anything like that. So get that thing on there, do a light layer, and just
Yeah.
keep it clean, keep it protected.
Yeah.
This stuff is awesome because it naturally falls off. So
Yeah,
unlike
like a sunburn.
Tagaderm, sometimes you don't know, and especially depending on the style of the artist and how much ink they're injecting in, color versus black and gray is going to be two different traumas to the skin. And you might think, oh, day 3, it's itchy, I want to take it off, and you end up ripping some of the skin, you rip some of the tattoo, and you got to
It's
reheal.
pretty difficult.
And then other times, you know, you can leave it on too long, and that's kind of, you know, smells like toe fungus, so you don't want to do that either, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, it's a fine balance, and guess what? This is an unguessing game because it falls off in the specific area. So heavy lines, it might take 5 to 7 days to fall off. Light shading, 2 to 3 days.
It's almost like
It works with itself.
It almost heals it a little bit better. And another thing with the Tagaderms, you get that nasty like weird stuff underneath, and you get the scabbing and whatnot. How this works is it like locks it in, so it doesn't ever look like that. It just always looks fresh in a weird way for 3 to 4 days. So I put 2 layers on him, but I always do 3 for a fresh tattoo. And it's another cool thing too is once it's done, it's like, I don't know, it just feels like protected, right? And that's why we call it ink guard. So you can kind of see it's just got a little bit of a matte shine finish, right? But it's like completely dry, right? This stuff is ahead of its time for sure. I think that the people that really do start to use this, they love it, right? Love to hear some more of your comments. But in terms of armpits and ditches, it's just you got to wait a little bit longer for it to dry, because if it's not fully dry and you crease it, it's like 2 pieces of tape sticking together. It's gonna just want to catch.
Yeah, and the more you stack it takes a little longer. So.
But I swear by this stuff. It's also noteworthy that this is actually invented by Curad. Curad's a Band-Aid company. If you guys can learn one thing from this show today, is within that 24-hour period of that customer leaving you, that's the most critical part.
Medline.
Got a couple questions here. Follow-up from Joseph Jones was wondering if possibly it could have been from perspiration. In the armpit and whatnot. So
because
it's a tough area.
It'll keep it moist, right? So this stuff wants to dry. So that's why we use the fan. But you got perspiration, you got moisture in the armpit. It's just the nature of the armpit more than the product. What I would do is just like Sean said, do a light spray, have them leave their arm open for a longer period, and then do a slight alcohol mist, maybe 2 minutes after you do the light spray.
Okay.
That kind of seals it a little bit more and takes away the moisture. Fan it for a little while. But yeah, armpits are funky anyways.
They just suck.
All right, we got another question from our friend Alex Mesa is asking, will it rub off on the clothing, and can you take a shower with it?
You can take a shower with it.
Absolutely. So my recommendation on it is don't jump in the shower and just let it sit there and spray and scrubbing and all the above. Just try and avoid water as best you can. It splashes on there. It's totally fine. It's just like Tagaderm. If you put that stuff on, you don't want to jump in the shower or jump in a bath, because any water that could seep in there could create a bacterial infection. So at the end of the day, keep it clean. Once again, just pretend that first 24 hours, it's protect.
But that's something cool is like the Tagaderms can still allow for moisture to get underneath that film and cause a bacterial infection. Like if the artist didn't put it on tight enough, there's a little bubble or an airway. What's cool about this is that can't happen. It like seals like a sealant, like a tire sealant. Once you spray it on, it locks it in hardcore. So that's another good factor is nothing can sneak in there. But in terms of shower, jump in the shower. Like for example, I just put this on his hand. When he goes home and takes a shower, if that was a fresh tattoo, the water can hit it, no problem, but he just wouldn't scrub it. So you don't want to scrub or wash in particularly that area. Just kind of avoid it. Take a quick bird bath if you can, and then.
I actually, in my experience too, I also let it. Which both of these were done with the spray ink guard, by the way, on the healing. I kind of let it just air dry. You know, don't even when you get out, don't put a towel all over it. Just let it air dry. Paper towel, maybe like this area, if it was the hands, and then dry that area.
Pat dry it if you do.
I wouldn't even pat dry this, honestly, because you're going to see some particles possibly go. I would literally just pat dry here up and just let that dry. Shake it off.
That's what's for all you artists out there. That's what's so good about that's what's so important about using this and doing 3 layers, because you want to put enough on to where it's really on there. And then this is my personal remedy. Look, tattooing for 27 years, I've tried it all. I've heard it all. Even the Japanese theory of hot cold compress. Like I've done it, which is a good thing, but it's just a lot of trouble. my go-to, even for my own tattoos, is I use this right here when the tattoo's finished, and I give my customers ink lock. It's simple. They can take it with them. It pretty much lasts a big tattoo. This could last a sleeve even if you apply it right. But ink lock, it's just a white lotion. Tell us a little bit about what makes this lotion pure or unique and good for healing tattoos.
Perfect balance of pH. So that was a big aspect of this product. Is I don't know which camera, Kent. This one? Okay. So for this particular product, knocking out the proper pH and working with your skin and the pH of your skin is really something we're proud of.
He's so smart.
On top of it, just the cream itself is kind of like that, back in the day they would take mud and put it on your skin. I mean, as primitive as it would be, and it would pull the heat out. It would pull things out of there and relax it. So the oat inside there and things like that, and the ingredients that we use, pomegranate, it's going to pull that heat out. It's going to give it moisturizing. It's extremely breathable. Any doctor would tell you that your skin can heal naturally. Mm-hmm. All we're here to do is give you added aids to get you to where you want to be. So faster. We aid the skin. We're not going to overcomplicate it. We're not going to clog it up. That's the whole less is more type of theory with our products.
Yeah.
Just use it sparingly, use it well, but you just don't want your skin to crack, right?
I mean
that's the worst.
Ultimately, all you need to heal a tattoo is moisture and air. And a lot of times when people used to use A&D ointment, I mean, I'm even guilty of that back like 20-something years ago when I didn't know any better. I'd tell my customers just to put Vaseline on it for a week. That gives it moisture but not air, mm-hmm. right? It's a barrier. It won't allow air to penetrate the skin cells. So again, your skin just needs oil and water, air and moisture. If you give it the right amount of air, breathability,
yep.
and moisture, but not too much, not too little. Because a lot of people put so much ointment on their tattoos that
it's a myth, right? They think the more you put on, the faster it's going to heal. It's actually the complete opposite. Your skin is breathing, and just consider this like your little skin cell, and it's like, give me air, and it's going to keep opening up, and it's actually going to get worse and worse and worse and worse.
It needs to.
Then it's going to start
to flex.
And it's going to start shooting.
Your skin cells need to open up and beg for moisture, and then close when they get it. Just that motion is what creates that healing process. But like Sean said, if it's continually just soaked with ointment or lotion, it's going to have, and it can even lead to infections. I've seen that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what? Okay, Sean. So I just got a new tattoo. How many times do I use this? After 3 to 4 days, because let's start there. So when you spray this on, if you guys are using this, I recommend after the 3rd day, start using the ink lock. How many times a day?
It's just everybody's skin's different, right? So it's going to come down to noticing when your skin is starting to feel dry. That's when it's time to apply. So dry, time to apply. Don't try and just add it over and over and over and over again. Yeah. It's literally, your skin will tell you when it's time, and just pay attention to it. Wash your hands, keep yourself clean, and then apply the product.
Always wash your hands before you apply any type of aftercare to your tattoo.
Just keep the COVID process going when you're using aftercare, and you'll be good.
If COVID's done one thing good for the tattoo industry, it's caused you guys to wash your hands more. So do not put any type of aftercare on your new tattoo with dirty hands. Ever. That's a no-no. You never know where those hands have been. Now, this is pretty cool. This is an ink lock stick. This is like a travel stick?
Yeah, it's a little mini sprayer. We did the pen sprayer to give another application style. Some people wanted more of like an oil base. So this is sunflower seed oil, and it's very moisturizing, but yet it doesn't go on as like this greasy feel, and it absorbs into the skin super quick.
It does.
So it's like this on the fly. And there was a lot of construction workers, a lot of my friends personally, they're just like, dude, I don't have time to wash my hands. Like, I love your little hand sanitizer, but even that, I know it's dirty, and like my skin's getting all like dry. And it was just like, this is like the drive-by aftercare. You just and then just keep moving. So.
Yeah, and another little hack too is if you guys are construction workers, or you work in an industry where you don't really have access to a bathroom, whenever you want. What I would do is get a Ziploc bag and put 5 pairs of gloves in there, and just pull out a fresh glove and put it on. And put the ointment or the spray on before, because it's always better to rub it in, even this stuff. But again, if you we've had construction worker guys who dude, I can't do anything. I'm pretty much stuck on the 3rd floor pounding nails until lunchtime. So again, just that little hack is carrying a little bag of fresh gloves and you're good to go.
Yep.
So
spray, go, spray, go. So you can kind of spray, or spray cream. So,
Yep.
anyways,
cool.
There's some aftercare for you, folks.
So super important. We want to protect the investment, right? So Inkeeze is pretty much what do? We protect and what's our 3 little mottos?
Well, I mean, numb, heal, protect. We've got
Yep.
that aspect of it, so it's a relief.
Yep.
I mean, we've got every aspect of what you're looking for your experience. We're
Yeah.
trying to keep your experience as long and as best and as
Yeah.
clean, as beautiful as possible.
Cool. So we talked about the tattoo process, using the different type of ointments and sort of what makes that experience of the actual tattoo process so cool and fun and smelling good. We talked about the aftercare in terms of when they leave the studio. What do you guys do from there? How do you guys tell your customers and educate them to follow the necessary steps to heal the best? Now, what happens, Sean, after the tattoo's done and it's healed? It's 6 months later, and they're in Miami at the beach. Before we get into the products we have that protect, again, let's go back to the museums. Anytime we've gone to the museums, you will get kicked out if you take a picture with your flash on. So much that a lot of museums won't even allow you to take a picture because they don't even want you to accidentally forget that you left your flash on. So no pictures are allowed. When you hear the no picture allowed rule and you think that's unfair, my flash is off, that's how much they hate flash, because flash ruins pigment. Okay, so the sun takes the pigment and it breaks it down. So nowadays is different than the 80s and 90s when it was like tribal bands and like quick sailor tattoos and just quick tattoos, right? Your mom's name or your girlfriend's name.
A couple of those.
Yeah. We've entered the realm of fine art. I mean, works like Nico and Carlos Torres and just all these great artists that are alive today. These are no longer tattoos almost. It's more like fine art that these guys just deposit in the skin. So when you have an investment like that, and there's a lot of great talent out there nowadays, you want to protect it. You want to educate your customer, because look, we all have a reputation to uphold. So the last thing you want to do is have your customer, if you don't educate your customer, look, you're going to be sitting there with them, tattooing them, talking to them, right? A large portion of that conversation should be about aftercare and longevity. I mean, why not? They're going to be in your chair anyways. Take the headphones off, because look, we got a reputation to uphold. When they're showing this nice portrait 2 years later, and they happen to have not known that the sun, is not good for it, and this guy's a fisherman, next thing you know, he's like, look at so and so's work. Isn't it cool? And it's just this faded portrait of his son, and it wasn't the artist's fault. It was literally the guy who fishes every day. All he had to do was get an SPF 50. But he didn't do that because you guys didn't tell him. So it's really important to educate your customer. Never look at it like he's in my chair, I'm going to tattoo him, and he's out, and I'll never see him again, and who cares? Don't ever do that. It's up to you to uphold your reputation. These guys are walking billboards for you. That's how we get customers. They look at the pieces a year or two later, and they say, I like that. Give me your artist's phone number. So help your customer protect his investment and help you protect your reputation. Let's get into some of our sunscreen products, Sean.
Yeah, we'll go quick because we're running low on time here, so I'm going to go
any
turbo
questions, you guys,
speed.
shoot 'em
Just,
up.
Yeah, throw out the questions. I don't know which camera again. Kent?
The
Right
spray.
next to you.
Oh,
Spray.
look at that. So we've got a few options here. We've got this. I don't know. Here we go.
To the side. There we go.
All right.
Focus on
There
it.
we
We got
go,
these
right
three.
Anyways, we got a few different options. So ultimately, I'm going to go the quick of all of our products so you have the entire nutshell of it. It's all about smaller microns to get it deeper into the dermis to give you the best protection possible.
Okay.
So by doing so, spray it on, get it into the dermis. It's going to put that protective layer on it, and you're good to go. We also have a ton of moisturizers that we've put in there. It's basically our natural botanical ingredients to go in, moisturize, keep your tattoos looking beautiful. So not only is what
Yeah.
Franco's saying is you want to protect them, but why not make them look good during the process?
Yeah.
If you're all
Yeah.
dry and ashy because you've just not taken care of your skin, just by spraying on our spray, you're actually going to have it enhanced. You can spray it on, run away, and you're going to get more of a glossy finish. You could spray it on, rub it in, and get more of a matte finish. So you actually have two options on how you want to wear your sunscreen or your tattoo. It rinses off super easy. It's a very light
Yeah.
feeling sunscreen and sun creams. So I mean, really, we spent a lot of time, a lot of R&D And I have sensitive skin, so I'm super picky
Yeah.
on that side. And this is literally why the brand is here,
Yeah,
is wanting to come out with the best of the best sunscreens.
We've got a couple pro surfers that we sponsor that use this right here that just love it.
We had that chance to test it out when we were in Hawaii.
Yeah, we tested it out. We were there for the surf contest. Awesome, man. These surfers were tripping on this stuff.
Big wave surfing.
Yeah.
Game on.
And moms, they spray it on their kids. I put this on my kids too when we go out in the sun.
It is a bag on valve, by the way, so it has reef-friendly, bag on valve, zero ozone effect. You can actually spray it upside down because it's a bag under pressure instead of just being a bag of.
And you get more content per
You do
bottle, right?
about 60% or 40% more, because you usually have 40% of aerosol, so we eliminated that. Good to go.
That's good to know. So if you compare this side by side with a different brand, you're saying that it's 40% more because of the bag on valve.
Correct.
That's
If
good.
you're going against another bag on valve, then you're the same.
Yeah.
But just to be transparent out there. But if you're going against another one, yeah, you're doing that, and you're blowing it into the sky. So why do that?
Yep.
Another cool one is we took that formula and we made a travel size. Basically same thing. It's just a hand pump. Also, there's people that don't like the spray because it is a little bit more out there. So here's a way to do hand trigger spray. Same type of situation.
That's
we
cool.
even did if there's
These are
also
cool.
the pocket. We have our Protect. So we also have this in a hand sanitizer, and it was finally like, well, why don't you have both in protection?
Yeah.
So take this with you. Take your hand
beach run
sanitizer
on the boat.
You got both. Throw it in your car. Tattoo. I swear to God, my left arm is getting more faded than my right arm. So put that spray on there. Keep driving down the freeway. You're good to go. Last but not least, our latest release to the line is our Mineral. The Mineral is incredible. It was very difficult creating a mineral sunscreen that actually disappears on your skin. A lot of times these create like a very blue, kind of gray, hazy look. With this, you can actually rub in the Mineral. So if you're someone that's like, I don't like to use clean chemical sunscreens, then we actually have a solution for you. And it doesn't make you look like Casper the Ghost. So we're very proud of that.
Protect your tattoos.
Yep.
Your tattoos.
So that was the fast rendition of sunscreens. Hit us up at customer service at Inkeeze.com, the website, all the above. We can give you more information. We're gonna do. Franco's gonna show you how to use the biogel.
But let's
we'll
do
teaser.
this. Let's do this
teaser
really
now
quick.
or later?
So we got some new products coming, right?
Yep.
New products are coming.
This one is actually one of them. It's not on the website yet, so hang tight.
This one's cool.
Just in time for
and
winter.
again, remember, protect your tattoos, especially you guys out there that have the crazy masterpieces out there. What other new products do we have? Let's talk about this Black Glide.
Black Glide. I know it's been a little hype. You guys saw our first post back in, I want to say it was May or June.
People have been asking about this all the time.
Yeah, so COVID made it very difficult for everybody was going into the PPE and protecting, and so we support that. So we kind of had to put it on the shelf. It's here. We could prove it. It's been done. It's literally a matter of we're going into production in the next 3 weeks.
This stuff smells good.
This should be out here in 4 to 6 weeks.
Let me say this really quick from a tattoo artist perspective. We didn't even talk about this. So
vegan again.
Yeah,
also.
a lot of people will ask like the purple glide or the pink glide or even our CBD glide and especially the Black Glide. Like, what if I use the color stuff? Is it going to kind of ruin my like the way my tattoos are looking while I'm like? Will I get lost in like having a pink glide or a purple glide or a black glide? The weird thing is, it spreads very thin. So even though in the jar, it looks like dark purple and dark pink, and in this case black, when you put it on the skin and you rub it, like we always rub a thin layer of it, right? So no problems with the colors, guys. So stay tuned for the Black Glide. This is another one of my favorite products when I was traveling pre-COVID.
Right. Also, just a last note, and you're like, well, why Black Glide? It was like, because just like the person that done that awesome post with the pinked out station, so many people, and we get so many requests of like, when are you going to do a Black Glide? We want to black out our station. It's like the last thing. I don't want pink on my black station. So I was like, all right, you guys have asked, and we are doing it for you. So thank you for all those requests.
Shout out to Jet Black. I don't know if you guys use Jet Black products, but it's an awesome tattoo artist owned company that they have black everything. Black face masks, black. Dan Smith. The founder is Dan Smith, a homie of ours and awesome musician. So when you're traveling, right? We all know what the cleanup gel is. There's tons of different ones in the market, right? And Ours acts fast, right? So you got your standard bottle size. Don't we have a gallon?
We got the big huge pail. We've got all the different versions. Our main aspect was to get you the best value.
Yeah.
So we're always looking at the best value, and then now we're moving into a new eco-friendly value. So
Okay.
we got 2 minutes to explain it, but we're going to do it in 30 seconds.
Now,
Ready?
Sean, I'm going to go ahead and let you explain this and do it because.
All right, I'll try my best here.
Okay.
This is a pretty big rinse cup.
That's a dirty rinse cup right there.
The plain and simple of it is we used to have little packets, and you would have a ton of packets. So now what we're doing is we're bringing the packet is now biodegradable. So instead of throwing that in the trash, just go ahead and put it in there. Sprinkle everything and your contents in there. When you're done, go ahead and just throw this in. Finish, as you can see, it's already breaking down. It's kind of cool. Sometimes you get the logos on there. And then from there, go ahead and finish cleaning up your station. And obviously here we'd have the encapsulated up. So we just wanted to show you that you are actually supposed to throw the packet in there. That was the main point of the demonstration. And as you see,
this is another good thing too. So if you guys have a big rinse cup, so what's cool about this, you can put as much as this as you need in there. These are generally for the smaller rinse cups, the little blue ones.
Look at it go.
In this case, we have a big one, so we put 2 in there. So always 2 for the big one. Oh, look at that sucker work. Maybe I didn't even need it.
Here we go. Oh, another camera. Yep, see that? Pretty cool, huh?
Solidified.
We put too much in. Sorry about that.
Easy to travel with too, by the way. Yep. So
cool.
Thank you guys for the Aftercare tuning in to hear our thoughts and check out our products. What camera am I on, guys?
Ken,
all right.
Where are we at, Ken?
Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Sean, for being my business partner and awesome friend.
Yep. Likewise.
Lots of cool products coming. Thank you guys again. It's time for
Friday
a
night.
tequila.
Friday night.
That's
Hope
right,
everybody's
you guys.
having a good
Cheers,
weekend.
And to everybody there, make sure you want to join our VIP SMS list. It's text Bishop VIP in the U.S. That's 29071.
Salty.
Worldwide. +1
Those are salt cups.
973-547-1071. And for any questions that we weren't able to address today, please send us a DM. We've got Gabe on our instant messages ready for you guys. Thank you again for you all tuning at home. Sean, Franco, thank you guys for
Thank you guys.
Thank all you guys for your support. I mean, we're not here without you, so it'd just be me.
We love our customers.
Making our own products for ourselves, but you guys make us a business, so this is more fun.
Thank you guys.
Keep giving your suggestions. Let's do this.
All right, you guys. Well, have a beautiful rest of your weekend. I think we're going to go enjoy the rest of ours. And as always, if nobody loves you, Bishop's got you.
Always
and
and forever.
Chuco.
Yes, he
and
does.
we out.
Go.